Hi guys, good evening. Let's begin with this week's analysis. So, as you already know, we were expecting the market to reverse because of this indecision candlestick last week, right? And this week you can see Nifty has actually given us a confirmation that it's going to go further bearish. You can see this week's candle is closed at its low and also has broken last week's low. Right, so this indicates we're looking at a further downward movement. Now let's see what would be the targets, and I'd also like to check the retracement levels. So what you see here is that we had a pullback of exactly 61.8, the golden ratio, and from there we have a reversal. Price has already closed below 38.2. Now what that indicates is that the first target is going to be 10,643. That's our first target. Okay, and what can we expect beyond that? That we will check using our Fibonacci extension tool. Okay, so we start from the high and let's see what the targets are. Yes, so the first target after the low being tested would be 10,485, and what I'm expecting is 127% extension, which is ideally the target, which is the most probable outcome, right? So there's a very high chance of market reaching this target, which is 10,334. So these are the levels to keep in mind. First the low 10,600 range, then 10,485, then 10,334. So that's the view. Alright, unless we see this week a reversal again, breaking this current week's high, then things might change, right? But as of now, looking at what we see in the market, this is what I'm expecting. And now let's take a look at Bank Nifty. Same thing. So in terms of target, first target would be the low 26,537, then 25,980, and 127% would be 25,372. So expecting Nifty to be bearish, Bank Nifty to be bearish also. All right, let's move on to the stocks now. So Adani Power, if you see, this was in a downward move, right? There was a breakout and a pullback. Now with this week's candlestick, it looks like it's going to fall, but the target is not that long because we have a major support here. You can see it's a very strong support from 2013 onwards, right? This trend line is really strong. So you can expect the price to retest this low, which is around 55. So it's good for intraday traders. If you see get a good entry, you could target this support. Apollo Hospitals, in spite of all of this, still looks bullish. You can see a strong rejection candlestick at the support, so pullback is done. This is good to be bought. Right, so I'm bullish on Apollo Hospitals. Apollo Tires continues the downtrend. You can see we are in a downward channel, and Fibonacci is the best tool here to identify what really happened. We can see pullback till 78.6 here and evening star formation, right? So now we're expecting the first target would be 144, which is the recent low. Bajaj Auto, again bearish signal and confirmation. So last week was indecision, but this week we have a close below the spinning top, below the doji, right? So that indicates we have a confirmation now to go short on Bajaj Auto. You can see the levels. First target 2795, followed by 2717, and there on goes. Bharat Electronic, you can see that it has got a nearby support, right? But the reason I'm bearish on this is because you can see this high has been tested multiple times. Again, it was retested, and now I'm looking at a retest of the support at 92. Biocon is actually giving us a bullish signal. You can see the bullish engulfing here, right? And if we zoom out and check our Fibonacci, so we can see that the reversal is happening exactly at the golden ratio at 61.8, right? Which is a good sign. You can see market was going sideways here for a bit before we got the signal. So we did have a rejection earlier also, but then retest, and now finally we have a good signal. So Biocon bullish. BPCL I'm bearish, the reason being that it has reached a resistance, and if you check the daily chart, now first of all it's been a vertical move, and after this vertical move we finally have a dark cloud cover, which indicates that now we are looking at some corrections, right? So you can expect the price to again fall back to where it started from. So 400 range, 422 would be the ideal price for the correction. And let's see what Fibonacci says. Yes, so here is 50%. If nothing, at least 38.2 is what you can target, 453. But in such cases of vertical moves, I've generally seen retracements of 50 to 61.8. Castrol continues to, it was going up, but then now it has given us a good reversal signal. That means we can look at shorting, right? Because if you look at the bigger picture, although the low is not yet broken, so the retest, the actual signal would come when this is tested, but this is a daily chart. If we check the weekly, here there's a much stronger signal to be bearish. You can see there was a breakdown and then the pullback at the same level from where the market had fallen from, and then we have indecision here. Now there's a 38% correction, so next couple of weeks we can expect the price to reach around 112. GAIL India, you can see that this consolidation was broken a couple of weeks back, then a pullback happened, and now last week, I think we discussed this last week also, there was a rejection. This week we have a confirmation. Candlestick closing below the low, right? So bearish on GAIL. Godrej Consumer, you can see that it is showing bearish signals. Only thing is it's not very strong because the low is not yet broken, candle is not yet closed. But here the reason it is there in today's analysis is because you can expect the market to maybe retest the high somewhere and get a better entry to short. Hero MotoCorp, you can see still looking bearish. So it was trying to go up, but a lot of rejection. So you can expect, I'm expecting the market to retest the low again, the recent low. And Fibonacci wise, it has done a good retracement, exactly 61.8, and that too, there were 2 weeks where this level was tested, right? So that gives us a lot of confirmation, a lot of strength with our analysis. Hindustan Unilever, although it's in an uptrend, but what we're seeing here is last week was a pin bar, this week again, so price can fall down to 1866, which is where it will find support, right? So that is what can be targeted. ITC, I am bearish on ITC. You can see that we are already seeing rejection. So this was the range which actually broke out. Price has retested it, but it is not strong enough to move up. You can see a lot of rejection, and if you see a daily chart, we have a strong engulfing also. So I'm bearish on this. This is one of the stocks which has not yet fallen, so there could be a good move on this. Lupin looking strongly bearish, continuing its downward move. So you can see it was sideways for quite a while from April 2018. Now it just broke out of this range, right? This week candle has broken out the recent range, so expect this to fall further. If you get a slight pullback, it would be better for the entry. Mahindra and Mahindra, we can see a very clear downward signal, right? Retest of 61.8 and a confirmation. So we have strongly closed way below 38.2. At least the low is what can be targeted, 285. Maruti again looking, it has been bearish for a while. You can see rejection this week, nothing really happened, but I'm still bearish on this. Only thing, the move is yet to start. National Aluminium, you can see last week we had the spinning top, and this week the candlestick has closed below the low. So that's just basic candlesticks. We have a downward confirmation. Titan, we can see there's a double top, and then we have a candlestick closing, body closing below the low of the last week, indicating we have a downward move which is pending. At least a retracement is what you can expect on Titan now. UPL, you can see the strong rejection candle here. At the same time, we can see retest of 50%. So good move still pending to go short on UPL. And Vedanta, you can see the trend line was broken earlier, retest happened. This was bearish earlier also. Now we have a much stronger confirmation. You can see the bearish momentum is very strong. So my ideal target would be based on the extension. So I would expect 113 in the next couple of weeks, say about 2 to 3 weeks. And we are at 143, so that's a good move which can be captured on Vedanta. And you already know it's very volatile, so this would be one of the good options to trade as well. Alright, that's it for now, guys. Just a quick announcement. We would be sharing daily tips or weekly tips, like whenever we have any trades that we would like to share, on our app, which is available on the Play Store. You need to go to the Play Store and type Hexaurum, and you can download the app. Once you download the app, send us an email stating that you have got this app, so that we can activate the tips for you. It's in the premium section. Alright, that would be all for now. Thank you so much. See you guys next week, and all the best for this week.